Extracts from the Trevose Lighthouse order book. First entry in this book is 8th of August 1859, and it's a list of financials, and it's got dwelling was £3 3s, and that was sanctioned. Then you have a step ladder for low lantern, 2 clothes posts, 3 latches and screws. That's £1 4s, and that's sanctioned. Underneath that you've got 2 scrapers for doors. That's 4 shillings. And next to that it has DO, whatever that means. Under that you've got set of sash lines for 6 windows, refused. Under that you've got £1 1 shilling and 7pence, DO. And then you have new lid to furnace, £1 1 shilling, DO. Next entry is August the 31st, 1882. Visited this establishment and caused occulting light in high tower to be exhibited and low light to be discontinued. I find S. in I. Douglas has also visited this station today. The light is now exhibited 7 p.m. and the machinery is keeping perfect time. Everything connected with the change is quite satisfactory. As the night is foggy, I have given directions to light the 6 wicks. I.N. Tregafu, Superintendent. January the 8th, 1885. Visited this establishment and delivered the 2 outer dwellings over to the Chief Officer of Coast Guard. The cottages handed over are now in perfect order and in a proper state of repair. Arranged for assistant, and that next bit is unreadable, to remove at once into vacant centre cottage. Premises in good order throughout and occulting machinery working satisfactorily. And that's I.N. Tregafu, Superintendent. November the 21st, 1885. Visited for annual works and repairs and to ascertain what furniture would be required for the ensuing year. Found Lighthouse in very good order throughout, occulting machinery working well and keeping perfect time. I.N. Tregafu, Superintendent again. March the 15th, 1888. Visited in consequence of a report from the principal keeper of damage sustained during the gale of the 11th. Found several slates blown away from roof of Piquet's dwelling, 2 panes of glass blown in, top of ash bin completely shattered. On arrival at station found keepers engaged, assisted by Coast Guard men, in cleaning the road leading to the lighthouse. Ordered repairs to be executed without delay. The amount will be about 30 shillings. I.N. Tregafu, Superintendent, I guess, because the name was unreadable. October the 17th, 1890. Visited and inspected panes of glass in lantern fractured. 6 in all. Most of this damage appears to have occurred during the last 12 months. Tested the official apparatus and the wick lamp. Found all in good and efficient state. Douglas. April the 25th, 1891. Visited and inspected to report upon the necessity of painting this station this year. Found the tower and dwellings in very fair order and clean. The occulting apparatus is not so clean as it should be. Have instructed the something or other keeper to thoroughly clean it. H.J. or I. Redding. And the keeper's name is unreadable. July the 31st, 1899. The gardens of the assistant keeper who has just left the station are in an untidy state. The superintendent is to see that they are kept tidy even if they are unattended in future. Lots of painting to be done by the keepers annually in accordance with a board letter dated February the 17th, 1900, number L638, and it's got painting, lanterns and gallery externally. Then it's got ditto internally, pedestal, all outside doors of tower, dwellings and outhouses, pigsty doors, covers to ash bins, ladders and ladder sheds, garden gates, all gates approaching the lighthouse, and flagstaff, ventilating shafts and stays, railings around area steps, tower steps, skirting of passages, and all damp places in dwellings. Varnishing, pedestal of lens, trunk for weights, mahogany shelves in service room doors and window frames, flag box and lantern ladders. Lime washing, yard walls, passages leading to low tower, underground kitchens, pigsty, pantries, WCs, coal houses, wood houses, oil store and lower service room. Reading, Superintendent. June the 18th, 1912. Visited from Irene on annual inspection, duty station undergoing alterations and improvements and given over to the workmen. Temporary light in good order and keeping good time. Marshall. This one looks like August the 13th, 1912. Visited from Padstow, found the lantern clean and in good order. Made inquiries as to the lens being stopped for 20 minutes on morning of the 11th last, and found the assistant had been asleep in lantern. This was discovered by the Coast Guard on watch, who proceeded to the station, and not knowing where to find the principal, went up to the lantern. Mr. Wilson, PK, states that Paysons, Paisons, is not fit to keep work, because he attributes to Paysons, and then the next bit is unreadable, although he has never found him intoxicated. Under these circumstances, I have asked for a supernumerary keeper to be sent, and have arranged with a relief mechanic to share in the work with principal, the former taking first watch. R. Williams, Superintendent. 19th of July 1923. Visited by rail from Penzance to investigate complaints of the assistant keepers against the principal for keeping late hours and disturbing them by the noise of the motor car and other accusations. Reynolds, Superintendent. July the 31st, 1923. Visited as instructed by the elder brethren to caution the keepers, the PK to be most careful in his language to his assistants, the assistants to show the PK more respect, to uphold discipline, particularly in the case of RVP Khan. Next bit unreadable. Assistant. That could be junior assistant. That's Reynolds, Superintendent. 18th of March 1935. Visited station to check and that bit's unreadable, of principal keeper's dwellings, on removal of his personal effects of the late principal keeper G.T. South, or G.F. South, who died suddenly at the station on the 20th of January last. Also checked and the next bit was unreadable, of number 3 dwelling occupied by C.K. Trezise, it seems like, Trezise, and made test check of GS stores, all in order. The new window frames in number 1 and 2 dwellings are to be varnished and not painted, as has been the practice. Stations clean and in efficient order. Lens keeping correct time. C.K. Trezise, A.K. in charge of station, pending the arrival of the newly appointed principal keeper, and it looks like H.H. Laytore, Laytore, and the signature of the superintendent is unreadable. 24th of August 1937. Visited station to inspect progress of sealing and painting of fog signal trumpet and trestles by contract. This work is being carried out carefully and in accordance to specification. Lime washing, 2 coats completed satisfactorily. Check timing of light, station clean and in efficient order. G.W.A. Jarrett, Superintendent. March the 18th, 1939. Inspected station, all in very good order. Mr. Trevose, AK in charge. Mr. Jourdain, newly appointed to station as PK, has not yet arrived. The question of SAK accommodation and lack of lavatory will be dealt with. All quarters well kept and in good condition. Examine broken garden wall. This will be dealt with. G.W.A. Jarrett, Superintendent. August the 15th, 1939. The keepers have painted all the bare places on the siren trumpets, and this should now last through the winter. The internal painting in the assistant keepers' quarters has been completed in a satisfactory manner. G.W.A. Jarrett, Superintendent. 26th of June, 1946. Visited from Penzance to inspect progress of painting and to investigate complaints by foreman painter regarding principal keeper. The principal keeper is carrying out his duty in the proper manner and is watching the interests of the service in regard to the painting specification. He is to carry on as he is doing and report any further differences of opinion. Progress appears to be satisfactory. It looks like T.H. White, Superintendent. 1st of July 1946. Inspected station on completion of contract painting. The terms of the contract appeared to have been faithfully carried out and the work is satisfactory. The 2 different colours of paint on the trumpet are due to the fact that there was a shortage of paint, and in order to facilitate the progress of work during fine weather, the principal keeper loaned paint from stock. This paint has been replaced and the trumpet should be given a coat when the existing colour deteriorates. The station is well kept and in good order throughout. T.H. White, Superintendent. 24th of February 1950. Inspected station and found all in very good order. Stores checked and found all correct. Both assistant keepers off sick and SAK, and transferred keeper from Plymouth Breakwater doing duty. The principal keeper, Mr. Rashley, is due to retire in another 3 weeks. And it looks like R.E. Goodman, Superintendent. 25th of July 1950. Inspected station. Evode, workmen have completed main covering of roofs, but return in 2 weeks' time to give final coat. Quite a lot of spots have been blown over paintwork by wind. Tenders now in for repainting fog signal turret. Boundary walls and outbuildings can now be recoated with lime wash or carbide sludge. 3 ceilings need whitewashing in cottages. R.E. Goodman, Superintendent. February the 21st, 1952. Inspected station. Assistant Keeper Bevans in charge of station during illness of PK. All compass bearing plates in lantern are true, but wind vane to be moved from magnetic to the true meridian. Goodman, Superintendent. And underneath it had, the 0 reading for this station is Godrevy Lighthouse and is correct on 217 degrees. June the 8th, 1955. Inspected station and found all in good order, except that the distemper is flaking off badly in tower. The principal keeper, Mr. Foote, has retired and assistant keeper Bevans in charge. Stores all correct. Goodman, Superintendent. February the 6th, 1956. Inspected station on completion of interior painting of dwellings. All work satisfactorily carried out, and the quarters all look much improved now that the old varnish and graining has been removed. One engine out of action and a mechanic carrying out repairs. Telephone now fitted at this station. New surface oil tank installed. Station in good order throughout. Goodman, Superintendent. June the 5th, 1957, visited and inspected station. The signal mast has carried away and fallen and needs removal. Particulars taken for obtaining tenders for this. Rainwater tank in tower is beginning to leak. Will make arrangements for repair by workshops. A new notice board has been supplied to stop motorists using the Lighthouse yard for parking. Notice board on entrance gate to be repainted. New principal keeper Mr. Roberts in charge. Station clean and in good order throughout. New exhaust pipes for fog signal engines have been ordered. Goodman, Superintendent. February the 11th, 1959. Inspected station. The fog signal was in operation and the two blasts vary in tone. The actuating clock needs overhauling. Station has now been wired for mains electricity and is now awaiting connecting up to the mains cable. Goodman's Superintendent. April the 23rd, 1959. Mains electricity has now been connected and is in use in the dwellings and engine room. Goodman, Superintendent. 17th of August 62. Inspected, all in excellent order and very well kept. Complete renewal of fog signal machinery has begun and improvements to dwellings are imminent. Light and temporary fog signal timed and found correct. Emergency instructions cited. E.H. Harris, Superintendent. 5th of March 1963, inspected. New Typhon fog signal comes into operation 2 days from now and Trinity House engineers check-in. All of station working efficiently, light timed and found correct. Work by contractors not finished and much tidying to be done afterwards. All repairs in hand by Inspector of Works. Keeper's allowance of electricity and solid fuel to be readjusted. Emergency instructions cited. E.H. Harris, Superintendent. 28th of August 1966. Inspected. Found all in usual excellent state of cleanliness and smart appearance. Light and fog signal timed and found correct. Emergency instructions and WR fittings checked. Engine room fireproof doors not yet fitted. E.H. Harris, Superintendent. 22nd of November 1973. Mr. J.S. J. or T. Bowling, Principal Keeper, transfers to Northumberland on the 26th of November 73. Mr. Allen, now Principal Keeper. C. Carson's Superintendent. 19th of August 1974. Inspected station, checked length and fog signal and found correct. The station found to be in excellent order and a credit to Mr. Allen P.K. Mechanic and electrician on station to carry out changes to electric light on the 3rd of September 74. Checked secret letters. All old PVB equipment to be left pending instructions. Looks like Carson's Superintendent, West Coast, and that's the last entry in this order book.